If you're listening to this right now, in the quiet of your room, with a part of your heart feeling like you're behind in life, this is for you. Maybe you've watched your friends moving ahead, getting married, building careers, traveling the world, while you sit in the same place, wondering if you're falling behind. Maybe you've opened social media and seen endless announcements, promotions, proposals, dream lives in beautiful places. And somewhere inside, a quiet voice whispers, "Why not me? Am I doing something wrong?" You start looking at your age, at the expectations, at the invisible clock ticking inside your chest. You tell yourself, "I should have figured it out by now," or "I should have been there already." And that heaviness settles into your shoulders, like time is slipping through your fingers. But tonight, I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to hear this, gently but clearly. You're not late. You're not behind. You're simply on your own timeline. And that timeline is valid, even if no one else sees it. Life isn't meant to be lived in sync with the crowd. Some flowers bloom at sunrise, others at midnight. Some lives bloom early, others slowly, with grace. And yours, your life, is unfolding exactly as it needs to. Let that truth hold you softly. You're not wrong. You're not broken. You're becoming. Quietly. In your own time. And that is enough. I once knew someone who always felt like they were running behind in life. At 25, they watched their classmates climb the ladders of success, get married, move abroad, post glowing photos of their seemingly perfect lives. Meanwhile, they were still living at home, unsure of what to do next, questioning every step they took. Every birthday felt like a reminder, not of growing, but of falling short. They would smile at gatherings, nod along when someone mentioned a new promotion, a baby, a mortgage. But deep inside, there was this quiet ache, a fear that they had missed something, that maybe their chance had passed. One night, after scrolling through updates and feeling small again, they told me, "I feel like everyone else is ahead, and I'm just stuck." And I asked gently, "Ahead of what?" They paused, then looked at me. And in that pause, something shifted. Because the truth is, we're not all running the same race. There's no universal path, no official schedule for joy, for love, for healing, for becoming. That person? At 30, they found something that lit their soul on fire, a path that had nothing to do with their degree, or what their friends were doing. It came later. Slower. But it was theirs. And when it came, it fit so perfectly that all those years of uncertainty suddenly made sense. Like the waiting had been preparing the soil for something deeper to grow. So if you've ever felt behind, stuck, or like life has passed you by, remember, not every flower blooms in spring. Some bloom under moonlight. Quietly. Beautifully. And always in their own time. Why do we feel like we're late? Like we've missed something essential while the world kept moving forward without us? This feeling doesn't just appear out of nowhere, it's shaped, little by little, by what we see, what we hear, and what we compare ourselves to. Social media, for example, paints a curated highlight reel of other people's lives, celebrations, perfect mornings, glowing skin, success at 25, marriage by 28, a baby by 30. And when all we see is that, it's easy to forget that no one posts the uncertainty, the quiet breakdowns, the nights filled with doubt. It creates a false timeline. A pressure. Like we're all meant to bloom at the same time, by the same age, in the same way. Then there's the voice of family. Of teachers. Of culture. Saying, "You should have figured it out by now. You should be more stable. You should have done this or that." These shoulds turn into shame. And that shame whispers, you're falling behind, even when you're doing your best. Even when your journey is just different. But here's the truth most people won't say out loud, there is no rulebook. No universal clock ticking down the right time to achieve something. Life is not a spreadsheet. It's not a fixed plan. And what feels like delay might simply be preparation. What looks like standing still could be a necessary pause before a new season begins. You feel behind not because you are, but because you're looking at paths that were never meant to be yours. And when you stop measuring yourself by someone else's pace, you start to realize, maybe you're not late at all. Maybe you're right on time. What if your life has never been late, just unfolding on its own time? We often forget that nature has many rhythms. The moon doesn't rise at the same hour every night. The tides shift at different times each day. Some trees bloom in spring. Others, in autumn. Some people fall in love at 18. Others at 38. Some find their passion early. Others stumble upon it after failing 10 times. Every life has its own clock. And yours is not broken. It's just unique. You see, when you try to sync your pace with someone else's timeline, it's like forcing a flower to bloom before it's ready. You might go through the motions. You might do the things you should do. But deep inside, it feels hollow. Because it's not your season yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's wisdom in waiting. In being the late bloomer. In honoring your own rhythm even when the world seems to be sprinting past you. Growth doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes, it's quiet. Underground. Internal. Like roots digging deep before a tree breaks the surface. So the next time you feel like you're behind, pause. Breathe. And remember, your time will come. Just as sure as the sun will rise. Maybe not when others expect it. Maybe not even when you expected it. But when you're truly ready, emotionally, spiritually, deeply, your moment will unfold. Not rushed. Not forced. But true. Because your life has never been about catching up. It's about unfolding. Sometimes, we just need proof, quiet reminders that not all beautiful things happen early. That not all success follows a straight line. And that late doesn't mean never. So let me tell you a few real stories. Stories of people who bloomed in their own time. Take Morgan Freeman. Today, we know him as one of the most respected voices in film. But he didn't get his first major movie role until he was 52. Before that, he worked in small theaters, stayed in the background, and waited. Not because he wasn't talented, but because his time hadn't come yet. Or Vera Wang. You might know her name from elegant wedding dresses. But did you know she was a figure skater and a journalist before she became a designer? She entered the fashion world at 40, an age where many feel it's too late to start something new. And yet, she did. And changed the industry. Then there's Colonel Sanders, yes, the man behind KFC. He started his fried chicken business after the age of 65, after many failures and rejections. People told him he was too old, that his time had passed. But he didn't believe them. And that stubborn belief gave birth to something global. And let's not forget Grandma Moses. She began painting in her late 70s. Not because she planned to become famous. But because arthritis made it hard for her to embroider, so she picked up a brush. Her artwork would eventually be displayed in galleries around the world. What do all these stories have in common? They were never about catching up. They were about alignment, about finding the right thing at the right time, in their own rhythm. So if you've been telling yourself, it's too late for me, or I've missed my chance, I want you to remember these names. Remember these lives. Because if they can begin again, so can you. You don't need to be further ahead. You don't need to rush into the next thing. Right here, where you are now, can be enough. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. It's yours. You're not unfinished just because you haven't arrived at some imagined destination. You're not behind just because someone else took a different road. What if your life doesn't need to speed up, but simply to be witnessed? to be honored, to be felt. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, milestones, progress. But what about stillness? What about presence? What about the quiet moments where you breathe deeply and simply say, "This is where I am"? And that's okay. Letting yourself be enough doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the shame, the pressure, the noise, and choosing peace. Choosing presence. Choosing to grow softly, without needing to perform. There will always be more to do. More to achieve. More to chase. But right now, in this moment, I hope you can let yourself pause. I hope you can whisper to your heart, "I'm not late. I'm not broken. I'm just becoming." And that is more than enough. So if tonight, you've been carrying the quiet weight of not being enough, of being behind, of not knowing where your place is in this world, I want to leave you with this. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not a failure in slow motion. You are a story still being written. A flower still in bloom. A soul still unfolding in its time. You don't need to catch up. You don't need to prove yourself. You only need to breathe and come home to yourself. Somewhere inside, you already know the path may be winding, but it's yours. The pace may be slow, but it's honest. And the rhythm of your life, soft, quiet, different, is not wrong. It's sacred. So tonight, let go of the timelines that were never yours. Let go of the shame that was never meant for you. And let your heart rest. You're not behind. You're right on time.